Greetings. No, I can't start like that. Let's start again. Good afternoon, good morning. I thought I'd involve Wookiee. Now I'm going to start again.
Thought you wanted it.
I've only got a quarter of a cup of coffee here.
I thought you wanted it to be natural.
Yeah. Did you put any sugar in that?
Yeah. Do you want some more sugar?
No, that'll do.
Some water.
Greetings. No, I don't want to start with the greetings. Hi guys, just doing a little review, if you want to call it a review. Basically a year on of ownership of me with the 1250, I don't even know what bike I got, 1250 GS Adventure and Wookiee's 1200 Tiger. This is about the 5th take now, so I'm making a bit of a mess, but we'll try and get through it. I've roped Wookiee into this little plan. Right, so I bought this. Say hello, Wookiee.
Hello.
I bought this on the last day of August 2019. Wookiee bought the 1200 Tiger in September 2019. So we both had them pretty much the same amount of time. Firstly, I will say, if you've got a 1200, because I test rode both, if you've got the 1200 GS Adventure and you were thinking of chopping in to get a 1250, I don't really know if it's that much difference. I don't know if it's worth doing that. Only you can decide on the price of, you know, the money difference, you know what I mean? There is a difference in power. I can't fault the bike. The only thing is, like Wookiee's bike is the XCA, which is the top of the range Tiger, and this comes with a heated seat as standard, whereas this, being that this is the exclusive TE, so it is actually that Kalamata green really, but I've had it wrapped black. It doesn't come with a heated seat, and none of them do. I think the very latest ones, the new ones that are out now, 2020, I think one of them comes with a heated seat. But I'm not that bothered about it, but I'm going to bring the camera over in a minute and show you some things on this that I think could have been improved. But I test rode the 1200 Tiger, this actual model, not this actual bike, but this model, the one that's actually called the Explorer, and in the very first video that I ever did, you can see it, but don't watch it because it's a really bad video. But the bike, I just couldn't fault this bike at all, whereas the newer Triumph 1200 Tiger with the little LEDs in the headlights, lighter engine and all the other stuff, I didn't see the advantage of that. This, in my opinion, was the best one to have, because even though it hasn't got a TFT, I thought the dash was better. The menu on this one is a lot easier to use. The menu on that newer one, I gave up with it. It was absolutely ridiculous. Like the screen on this one electronically goes up and down, and on this one it's quite easy, isn't it, Wookiee, to adjust it?
Yeah. Press one button and then up and down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whereas on the later one, you've got to go through the menu to get to the setting to make that go. Oh, it's just a nightmare. So pain in the ass. But anyway, is there a main reason why you bought that instead of buying one of those, Wookiee?
Well, I'm not quite old enough for a GS.
Yeah, this is what he says. Right, okay. And are you older than me, Wookiee? Are you young?
And I'm older than you.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
I'm mentally older than you.
Yeah,
as well as physically
that's not
older
hard.
than you.
Yeah. Okay, so and when you got this, it had how many miles on it?
6,000.
Yeah, 6,000 miles. It didn't take me long to get 6,000 miles.
Yeah, this was used. This was a 2016 bike.
Even though it was used, it was pretty much a new bike, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was bought by and I quote, a Jessie.
A Jessie, that's right. Yeah.
Who had, like we all do, big plans to ride around the world.
Yeah.
And didn't go anywhere on it.
A bit like what we're doing now.
A bit like what we're doing now.
Yeah.
The first owner put 6,000 miles on it. I've put 14,000 miles on it in a year.
Yeah. And have you had anything go wrong with it in that time?
No.
What about the? He's talking bollocks now.
Oh yes, I did have the headlight relay.
The headlight, yeah.
Yes, the headlight stopped working, and it was the relay.
Hmm.
You're right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, because what is it? There's a relay in the headlight. Correct me if I'm wrong. So that it turns off when you're starting the bike, doesn't it? It diverts the power so that it's not going to blow the headlight or something. And you had a new ignition lock, didn't you?
Well, that was because somebody tried to steal it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Wookiee just missed him, didn't you?
So I've had bad luck. Someone tried to steal it and damaged the ignition lock, but that wasn't the fault of the bike.
No,
it wasn't. That can happen to any car or bike.
I'll just grab the camera a second. Right. Okay, so the only things I think could be improved on this, the 1250 GSA, are number one, the switchgear. I think that should be illuminated so that you can see it easier at night, so you're not sort of fumbling around a little bit. As I mentioned a minute ago, it could do with on the TE exclusive or the exclusive TE, whichever way around that is. It could do with heated seats, I think. What was the other thing that I thought? Oh, the top box. The top box is literally a waste of time.
The vanity case.
Yeah, the lady's vanity case. That's just. I mean, I've actually bought. I'm going to do another video. I've actually bought there a 58 litre Givey Trekker box. By the time I put my drone in there and camera, GoPro case, stuff like that, it's full up, and it's limiting what I want to film because I can't be bothered. Like, we might see something, we'll be on an adventure somewhere, I might see something I want to film, and I think, oh, I'll get the drone out a minute, and then I think, oh, I can't be asked because it's so tightly packed in here because it's so small. But what happened was, when I went to look at these and I ordered the bike, they said, oh, do you want the luggage? And I was like, well, yeah, of course I do. I want the luggage. Yeah, I want an adventure bike, so I want the luggage on it. So, oh, do you want silver or black? Oh, yeah, black. But I didn't know enough about it at the time to realise how small that box is. When you look at the box that Wookiee's got on his Triumph, I don't know what literage that is. Do you, Wookiee?
42.
Oh, is it? Right, okay, so that's 42. That's a Givey as well. I've had to buy an adapter plate to put on there to put the Givey box on, but I'll explain all that later. The only negatives, okay. It is a little bit heavy. I've just moved it into the workshop here, and I struggled a bit, but I haven't used it for ages. I haven't been on it. I've forgotten what it's like to ride. The tyres that they come with, which I can't remember what they are, to be honest, they were noisy. I found that the original tyres, like I said, I can't remember what they were, but they were noisy, and when I first test rode one, there was a lot of noise coming up through here, and I thought, oh, what's that? I remember pulling over the very first time and thinking, oh, what's wrong with this? But another guy that was test riding one, he knew a bit about them, and he said to me, oh, it's only the tyres. But we've now both got, what have we got? Michelin Pilot Road 5s, aren't they? Trail, that's right. Yeah, so we've both got them. I've only ridden this once since I put them on. Wookiee's ridden this once as well. What did you think of the GS when you rode it then, Wookiee?
I like it, but
I knew there was a but coming.
It's the Boxer engine is not one for me. You have to rev it too high.
You reckon?
Yeah, you have to rev it to get going. I like bikes with lots of torque, and this is unfamiliar to me. I had no intention of buying a triple,
Yeah.
I've only ever had 4-cylinder Japanese bikes.
Right.
And I came about this by accident. I went to test ride the brand new Versys 1000.
Yeah.
And I came back from the test ride and said I like it, but not enough to part exchange my old Versys 1000.
Yeah.
Because he wanted my bike and £16,000 for a new one. And I said, it isn't worth the change to me.
Yeah, I remember you saying about that, because obviously it was a lot of money to basically have a newer version of what you already had, wasn't
I
it?
had a 2004 or 5 Versys 1000, and he wanted £16,000 to go to a new one.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I've got this for 9. So I said, I don't want a Triumph, I don't want a triple. And he said, try it. And I took it out for a ride and I loved it.
Yeah.
It's a difficult...
Actually, sorry to interrupt you, but I remember
I bought it.
I remember ringing you up and saying, what did you think about it then? And you said, well, I must have liked it. I said, why is that? And you said, well, I bought it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but right.
I'm a little bit prejudiced against BMWs. I know that's going to upset some people.
That's all right. We can upset people.
But a lot of it is because I rode an RT many years ago.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine who loves them and pushed me and pushed me and pushed me to try it because he wanted me to have one. And I rode it and come back and I said, it's awful. Horrible bike. It torque steers when you accelerate out of roundabouts. Clunky gearbox, and I know they've vastly improved now. But the GS, although they've created a fantastic image for themselves, a lot of it thanks to you and Charlie, wasn't it, riding around the world.
Well, you say fantastic image, but
and they're advertising a lifestyle, aren't they? A bit like Harley Davidson, the GS lifestyle, and it's very attractive to a lot of people. But they're also alienating a lot of people as well at the same time.
yeah,
And there's just as many people that won't buy a GS purely because of the image.
yeah, I think you're right. I mean,
That's wrong. We're all fashion victims.
well, you are an innocent victim of fashion yourself, aren't you, Wookiee?
Innocent victim. Yes. Everyone's a fashion victim, whether you're a biker or a motorcyclist, and there is a difference.
Exactly, of course there is.
Whether
Yeah.
you ride an adventure bike or a sports bike, we all go and buy the right helmet and the right gloves and the right boots. If you ride a calf racer, you go and buy an open face helmet.
Although we have seen numerous people on motorcycles wearing completely the wrong gear. Like on the video when we went to Bournemouth to pick up the Kawasaki motorcycle telephone.
Yeah, there is
They were wearing the wrong stuff, weren't they? Because of course, another thing, our type, our kind, our type,
yes.
we don't belong in, well, certainly in the GS world, really. I mean, I don't think, correct me if I'm wrong here, Wookiee, because obviously we're involved in the club scene, we're both members of a motorcycle club. I have seen other club members on the Triumphs, on the 1200 Tigers, but correct me if I'm wrong, I don't recall seeing another GS.
I've never seen one.
Although saying that, ideally, when we're doing a club thing, I don't go on the GS, I go on my Harley or something else. And I dare say some of the other people in the club scene might well have one of these, but they keep it hidden away somewhere and don't tell anybody.
It's a dirty secret.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
They're almost embarrassed.
Yeah, but I'm not embarrassed by it. I mean, like I said to you at the time when I was buying it, and you were saying, you know, I was saying to you, you know, I'm going to be riding it wearing my colours. I'll probably be one of very few people you ever see riding a GS Adventure wearing my colours. You know, wearing colours. Basically being a patched motorcycle club member, that means, basically.
You want to be a trendsetter.
Yeah, I was going to change things for, you know, I was going to, yeah, try and bring it into. But the thing is, like some of the guys said, oh, "What the hell are you doing buying one of those? What, all that money on something like that? What is wrong with you?" But as some of them have sort of come round to the idea, nobody else in our club has bought a GS, although our president, we've got a new president now, but our president, he has owned a GS in the past, but he owns at the moment, out of his many motorcycles, he owns a Ducati Multistrada, because he likes loads of power. I don't think, because he's very busy with his work, I don't think he actually does as much like touring and stuff as what me and Wookiee have been trying to do. We've done a little bit. I mean, I've been to Spain, south of France on that, and went to Scotland on it. Wookiee went to Scotland. There was a few of us going to Scotland, but the lockdown rules changed, and then half of us couldn't go because the guest house, you could only have 2 households, so that was the end of that. Going on to things that have gone wrong, in the year that I've had this, you might have seen another video. Basically, the fuel tap, the electronic fuel cap, stopped working. I don't know if it was a coincidence, but basically the BMW key I put in the washing machine, had to buy a new key. In the time that I was waiting for the new key, I was using that little plastic emergency key, which basically wouldn't open this. I thought, I'm not 100% sure about that, but anyway, basically it turns out this had broken and I had to have a new one fitted. The other thing it's had recently is I got Aquaprovic, however you want to say that, on there. I had that on it from new. There's a flap in here. There's a motor that operates a little flap in the exhaust here, and apparently it's a common fault, and they basically put a new exhaust system on it for me. I'm not actually convinced that that did have a fault, because when I fitted the Innov K2s, or the Innov K2 rather, the front camera there and a rear camera there, when I fitted that, I took a fuse out from where I got the power for it, and then I turned the ignition on without putting the fuse back in, and an ABS light came up on there, and I didn't have I've got all full dealer level diagnostics now in there. That was £4 grand, but anyway, before I had all the diagnostics, I had to take it to BMW to get it plugged in to see why the light had come on. They said it was the exhaust, so that's that. So it had a new exhaust. Other than that, all I've done is put a set of tyres on it, but I love it. I can't fault it enough. One of our guys, he rode it back from Carmarthen, and he said he liked it, but he felt totally disconnected. It didn't feel like he was riding a motorcycle anymore, and I know what he means. It's a bit like being on a road vacuum. It just sort of sucks all the road in under the front of it, and it's, I don't know, a bit like a spaceship, I guess. But in the time you've had that then, Wookiee, happy with it?
Very happy with it. It's not perfect. No bike is perfect. There's things I would like different.
What would you change?
I don't understand, I don't like the clock layout.
Oh, don't you?
I want to show that.
You don't like that? Is that your OCD?
Part of it, but to me, when they redid, this is the 2nd generation bike, and they've added this.
Right.
The 1st generation only has this.
Oh, okay.
And to me it looks odd. I would have had this side be a mirror image of this side. Put a square screen on that side, because all the information is very small, because it's a small screen. So I would have preferred it if this screen was on that side as well.
Okay.
The cruise control is a little bit fiddly to use.
Is it?
Because you've got to hold the throttle and press one button and then another button to switch it on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, on mine, the cruise control is on this side.
Yes.
So that's easy. On this one though, the heated grips is on that side, which I do find awkward. I don't know why, I just do. I just find that a bit awkward. Whereas your heated grips are nice and simple and just on the thing here, aren't they?
Yeah. Part of that is because it's an option, so it isn't built into the switchgear. This is an XCA which comes with the grips and the lights, the spotlights.
Oh yeah.
But the base one doesn't have anything, and then the middle one I think just has the grips. So they haven't been able to build it into the switches.
Right. And that bit of that bit of I suppose I can't say homosexuality now, can I? I can't. We were just having a conversation this morning, which
there's
I
all
suppose
sorts of things
we
you can't say.
yeah, there's all sorts you can't say now. We were talking this morning about non-binary and gender fluid, gender neutral.
It's very complicated.
Yeah, we were having a bit of a discussion about it, so I won't mention this here.
It's very useful if you've broken your wrist several times like me.
Or you're very limp-wristed.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that basically... oh, how much do you reckon you've spent on it, Wookiee? How much do you reckon you've spent on it in the year that you've had it?
What, servicing?
Yeah, I mean we can't count the ignition barrel because obviously some tosser. He only just missed him as well. That'd have been awesome if he'd have caught him. He come out of Screwfix and some guy said, "Oh, there's a bloke running off down the road, just been sat on your bike." You just missed him, didn't you, Wookiee?
Yes.
I'd have paid good money to see that.
It had the 10,000 mile service, which with a set of brake pads, because for some reason this bike absolutely eats rear brake pads.
Oh, does it?
Yes. The bike's coming up to 20,000 miles. It's going to be due its fourth set of brake pads.
Okay.
It's a common. It's
Fourth?
A thing. Four is a thing I've heard. The dealer told me they use their brake pads, rear brake pads, a lot.
Didn't I get you some brake pads?
No, we spoke about changing away from the Triumph pads,
Oh, right, okay.
which are £40 a set. The 10,000 mile service, I think, was just short of 300 quid. I can't remember.
Right.
I bought these Heed upper engine bars, which proved useful because when I did fall off,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did.
took me to places I wasn't happy to with my barely legal tyres.
Yeah, we'll cut that bit out, that the tyres were barely legal. We'll cut that.
I was off road, so
Yeah,
it's all
it's
right,
fine.
isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you bent this, didn't you? You bent the rear brake lever, broke the front brake lever, little ball off the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, you coped with that off road well, though, didn't you? You loved it as well, didn't you?
I did in a strange way, but yeah. all I've done to it, I added these Heed upper engine bars.
In there, have you got those? You know those
This is just a bag
those
for
leather chaps,
rubber.
or the I didn't know if you had your leather chaps or those pants that you bought with the Velcro removable ass piece. I'm sure they were in one of these bags, weren't they?
They're in that one.
Oh, they're in that one round there. Okay, yeah, don't get them out.
I added these and a
Oh, the light guard.
cheap Chinese
I
aluminium.
probably can't say that. Can we say? Yeah, Chinesium.
Chinesium.
Yeah.
It's okay. It was like £8 from eBay.
Really?
China took about 3 months to arrive.
Did it?
But it was £8.
Really?
Yeah. And I think it fits in
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
look.
it was cheap.
There is a Triumph plastic one, full plastic one, which is £40.
Right.
I don't feel the need for it. And this is an optional taller screen. A
Oh,
genuine
okay.
Triumph screen. It's very dirty, but I don't wash my bikes as often as Lee because they come to expect it if you wash them.
Yeah, I like to keep mine clean. I put a headlight guard on mine. There's a video of that. That's the Lone Rider. What's it called? Moto? No, hang on. Lone Rider something or other that I can't quite remember.
Expensive tea tray.
Yeah, because it's got the metal and the plastic. Yeah, so.
And the sat nav.
Oh yeah, the sat nav.
This is the older design of TomTom, which I prefer, and I had it already from another bike.
Yeah.
But I bought the genuine Triumph bracket.
So, you don't ever see yourself on a GS then, Wookiee?
I do.
Oh.
I think I will do it one day.
Oh, you reckon?
Yes, when I'm a bit older.
When you okay.
But there's a couple of things, like you said, that they may change.
Yeah.
I don't feel the need for the adventure with the enormous fuel tank, because I don't have the time or inclination to ride around the world. So I don't ever see myself being more than 300 miles away from a petrol station ever in my life.
Right. I did see. I mean,
and I hope one day you will be more than 300 miles away from a petrol station. Well,
are you trying to make me stay away from you, Wookiee? Is that what you? Well, I liked the fact that I could do the distance, and I liked the protection it gives you, like the wind protection. You know, the width of it. Oh Christ! I nearly fell over. The whole width of the thing. I liked the presence that it had. And me being me, I just thought go big or go home as well. That was part of it. But I do like the tank.
You know what they say about men with big bikes?
What do you mean? No, I don't. What do you mean?
It's the same as what they say about men with big shoes.
What, big feet?
Big socks.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, I had a sat nav on mine as well. But do you know what?
The world's most complicated.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. That's almost a whole nother video, because it's a nightmare. It's just not easy to use. I'll tell you one thing that is really good about that sat nav. When I was in Spain, I was using booking.com to find the places I was going to stay, and if you go on anywhere, like on Google, you know, like it will show you like Google Maps or whatever, and you can send the location of the place to the sat nav through Smart Link, I think it is. So that was good. I did like that. I've never had it connected to my helmet, and that's another thing about this. That could almost be another video. All this technology is brilliant. You know, the Senas, we've both got Senas, me and Wookiee, and they're awesome. But sometimes when you're using the GoPro and me and Wookiee are both connected, there's horrible feedback. I'd love to know how to get rid of that. I've got no idea. Now on this, you can connect my phone to the bike, okay, and the bike to my Sena, and the sat nav to the. But none of it. I was riding along in Spain, listening to music. I was riding along, listening to Bullet for My Valentine. Everything was great, and all of a sudden, just lost all the connections. Just failed, and I ended up at the side of the road for about 20 minutes. And in the end, I had to unpair my phone from the bike. I had to unpair the helmet from the bike, and repair everything for no reason whatsoever. So I don't understand all that. But like I say, that's probably another video trying to go through all that crap. So basically then, to summarise, Wookiee's happy with his 1200 Tiger. I'm happy with my 1250 GS Adventure.
With some small changes.
Yeah, what? For you or for me?
I think both of us.
Yeah.
But no bike's perfect.
No.
The fuel tank should be bigger on this.
Yeah.
I would like a bit more power.
Oh, would you?
A little bit more power, yes.
Oh, I didn't notice that. See, when I rode one, I thought it was alright.
No, sometimes.
Okay.
If it's loaded up with all 3 boxes and a full tank of fuel and you're going uphill, you know.
Right.
Sometimes.
Okay.
90% of the time is fine. Sometimes a bit more power. The fuel tank needs to be bigger. The new model that's just come out has still got the same fuel tank. That's a mistake.
You reckon?
Yeah.
You sure? I thought they made the fuel tank a bit bigger.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I think, I may be wrong, the fourth generation one which is coming is slightly smaller, but the first, second and third generation, I believe, all use the same fuel tank.
Right. What was it I was looking at that I was a bit behind the times? We were down the clubhouse and there was
900.
the 900.
It's just come out.
Yeah. See, that seemed quite interesting.
Which all sounds great, but why hasn't it got a shaft drive?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you don't want a chain. That's one of the things on the KTM 1290 Super Adventure that I thought was really crap. And I know I slagged it off a little bit on that very first video I did, but it is a good bike, but you know, for fun, but it's not an adventure bike. And yeah, it had a chain, which is yeah, bollocks.
I would have a smaller bike. You don't need a 1200. I would have smaller, but if you're going to do any kind of even mild off-roading, I want a shaft drive.
Yeah. I just thought of something else as well. The price that you got that Triumph for, you'd have been mad not to have taken that opportunity, because it was a really good, pretty much a one-off opportunity, wasn't it, really, for the price you got it for? Because my bike, which, let's face it, at the end of the day, they're pretty much the same thing, really, basically. And that cost me,
on paper, yeah.
Yeah, that cost me over twice as much, wasn't it? Is that right? Yeah. Because I've had mates of mine coming here, or seeing you rather on that, thinking it's me, when my bike was almost the same colour, because the Kalamata green is very, very similar to that green. It's pretty much the same thing, and for the money. But I did think that was the best Triumph Tiger. The newer one was just the menu. It was absolutely ridiculous. You know, it's just too much faffing around. So I think personally that you got there the best one, the best model to have. Yeah. And if I won't be chopping that in for the new one. I'd have to be a bit nuts to do something like that. I don't know. I mean, you said when I first got it that people either have them for a little bit and get rid of them, or keep them forever, didn't you?
1 year or 10 years.
Yeah.
It seems to be with GS's.
So.
And the good thing about them, they're still desirable bikes when they're 10 years old.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure
money, people still want them.
Yeah, I think I've done, I'm not sure what mileage, I think I've done about 8,500 miles on it now, and I've just changed the tyres recently, so I didn't do too bad out of that set of tyres, did I?
No.
But yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. I don't know oh yeah, obviously I fitted Denali D4s and D7s, but there's there's a video about that. But that's just oh, and we've both got the K2, the Innov. Wookiee's fitted his there on the front. I'm not sure where the back one is. The back one's just there, look, above the rear light. You had a fault with that actually recently, didn't you?
Yes, it stopped working. It was the power converter developed the faults. I don't know what it was, but I replaced it and it's all up and running again.
Cool.
Yeah, I can't say why. It's a black box, isn't it?
Okay, well that pretty much sums that up, I reckon, Wookiee. Done it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah, that'll do for now. Right, hope that wasn't too boring. Obviously, it's only going to be of interest to anybody that's got a 1200 or 1250 GS or a Tiger. But anyway, right, thanks for watching. Cheers, guys. Say bye, Wookiee.
Bye.